I do need to tell her that it's not my dog, though.
I'm interpreting, so hold on. Oh, my name is Mark. And I'm going to discuss social welfare and the changes that it's had. And before in the US, we decided that we needed reform, and that started around 1935 with the New Deal. You know, most of the Americans in that time didn't have any money. They were all poor. And so America decided to improve the middle class economic group. After the Depression, there was very, very, very little money. First, they decided on a structure of the program for welfare. Social Security for retired people, disabled people, and children. The focus was on children, not on families. So, if there was a father living there, you can't have social welfare. Mother and kids were fine. Social workers would look, see if women having men living with them. So the social worker would go in the house and see if there's a man living there. They'd search for TVs and different technological machines, and if they saw all those things, they may suspend their welfare. The law decided that women can have a man living with them, and still receive welfare. That was a change that was made. However, they still needed to have a lower level of money income. There were some changes that continued to improve so if both the man and the woman didn't have jobs, they could receive welfare through this program. So men, women, children, unemployed, everything like that were all supported. Welfare started to improve and increase, and America's money started to decline. Families needed more welfare, more money. And the more people and the more families needing welfare, it became the program had to continue and continue and continue to have more money. American legislative group were worried because this was inexpensive to do welfare. It's a lot of money. They never understood before that the money would continue demand-wise, but they'd never been taking any in. They didn't really have a very good budget plan for the money. So there was still the same amount of money coming in, but more money demanded. And then a lot of people who were paying for welfare saw the people who weren't working and complained because they didn't want to pay for them. People were unhappy about that, and the situation needed to change. Now states decide welfare money budgeting. They receive the money from the government, and they decide what to do with the money. The states decide the level of income for welfare. The more money they receive from the government, the states work to decrease the number of people needing welfare. So now people can't receive welfare after 5 years. That's the max. And they try to train women to go to work and do different jobs. They don't because they don't typically understand behavior for workplace, scheduling. So states started to do training programs for those sorts of problems. Some were successful, some weren't so, kind of failed. If you noticed in the news, children's care women will have kids and send them there. And they need that money to go do that, and they have very little income to pay for daycare. And for a good daycare, it's around $100 weekly. The women in these situations can't afford that. So the problems were women were not trained, and daycare was just really expensive. So these problems were important to the state to focus on. Still got more?